Hi everyone and welcome to a new episode of Cool Tech, brought to you today by RClightsystems, the guys behind my super cool night fly setup with controllable multicolour lights and pyro boards, or the 2S parallel charge board already featured in an earlier episode of Cool Tech. But enough of what's gone before, let's roll that intro and check out what they've brought out now. The first of today's two products is the RClightsystems setup tool. What's cool about this one though is that it goes so far beyond the basic servo testing features and limitations that all other products of this kind always have. One of the most simple yet overlooked features was actually pointed out to me by Raquel, and that is that it's one of the very few servo testers that can actually run a direct 2S LiPo battery input, as most testers of this kind still run on yesterday's technology of 4.8 to 6 volts. As such, the connections, at least when using high voltage servos, are really simple. Just connect a battery of up to 8.4 volts to the input, a servo to the output, and press the up or power button to turn on. Being a digital servo tester, as opposed to the usual rotary knob, you can surf through the menu and set specific points using the same language as our radios do. In other words, you can set the center of the servo, which is usually 1500 U's, the endpoints, which are usually 900 or 2100 U's, or choose the multiple points in between, either in large steps of 200 U's at a time by pressing the up and down buttons, or move the servo manually through its whole travel by holding down those same up or down buttons. With that said though, the smart doesn't stop there. After all, so far it's only a high voltage servo tester. Its next party trick is that by pressing the select function button we can access the whole menu of functions. Let's run through the different features real quick. Center. This is the menu item that is open as standard when turning the device on, and allows us to set the center and test the servo manually as described just a moment ago. 2. Sweep. This is used to cycle a servo and rotates it from endpoint to endpoint in a loop. You can adjust the speed and even the endpoints themselves by playing with the up, down and select buttons. Three. Measure. Instead of just connecting a servo, in this menu you can connect the setup tool in between receiver and servo to view exactly what's going on between the two, specifically viewing the servo position that is being sent by the radio, again measured in U's, as well as the voltage all in real time. But it gets better with the next page. Number 4. Current. This is a really smart page. At first glance it seems to show the same information as the first page did: servo position, power consumption and battery voltage. However, if we again plug the servo tool in between our receiver and our servo, operate the servo from our radio, we can see a load of information that's usually unobtainable. Firstly, the current shown is that of the servo now in normal working conditions, controlled by the radio and usually installed in the model by now. So we can see how much power it's pulling at any given point. What's more though, by pressing the up button we can change the display to a graph view and verify if there are any power spikes at any point in the servo travel, possibly caused by bad geometry or binding, alerting you to an issue and allowing you to rectify it prior to causing any kind of damage. Number 5. Angle. And to really blow anything else out of the park, it even has an inclinometer which measures the exact deflection of flying surfaces. This is really useful when using multiple surfaces on the same axis, as is the usual case with ailerons to ensure an actual roll, or in larger aircraft, as happens with separate elevator halves, flaps and more. You can even set how far the trailing edge of the flying surface is from the hinge line, and it will calculate mathematically the deflection in millimeters. No more fumbling around trying to hold the radio at full deflection, hold the ruler in place, read the ruler, increase or decrease the travel in the radio or power box all at the same time. Just use up and down buttons to set the distance between the trailing edge and the hinge line, and the center button to set the zero position, or the center, and easily read out your deflections in degrees or millimeters. Easy. 6. Serial. This page shows the serial output from your receiver if connected. However, I believe this page is going to be updated for something else quite soon, so don't pay too much attention here and make sure to check out the latest features on the RClightsystems website. 7. RPM. The RPM page can be used as a digital tachometer for a number of engines. Simply connect the tacho output from your ignition into the setup tool and read out precisely all of your RPM data. 8. Configuration. This page allows us to set up various features as used by the rest of the menu items. Running through them quickly, you can set the default center position for servos as well as the default endpoints, the output rate to servos in hertz, the maximum current limit, which you may need to increase as I did if using high torque servos in order to prevent a simple overcurrent limit, which acts as a safety feature, the type of bus input being connected, although that might soon disappear as we mentioned, the RPM source, be it the ignition or an external sensor, how long to leave this inactive before auto off, the battery type that's connected, and then of course the save option. And that is the RClightsystems setup tool. But what about that second new product? Well, this one is more of an update on an earlier promise. I've actually spoken with the guys at RClightsystems and they've promised me to be coming out with more. In that previous video that I mentioned earlier, and that I'll link above and in the description below, I showed you all the 2S parallel charge board which charged and balanced up to 8 2S LiPo batteries at up to 500 milliamps per output, with the really cool feature of being that only one connection is required per battery, the balancing port. It's so good that I practically begged the guys at RClightsystems to develop a larger version to use with 3S battery packs, making all our 3D foamy flying just as easy and quick as our 2S foamy flying is right now. And I'm pleased to say that they accepted the challenge, and here we have the 3S LiPo parallel charge board, which can charge up to 6 3S LiPo battery packs at up to 2 amps per pack. That means that you can easily charge all your foamy packs in absolutely no time at all using just a single charger. That is, assuming your charger is man enough for the job. After all, a full board at full power would also be 2 amps times 6 batteries, so 12 amps going into a 3S 11.1 volt battery pack. Not that a weaker charger won't charge those 6 packs at once, it just won't do it at the same maximum speed. That said, I use a couple of Polaron chargers here at home which have no issues with fast charging even some of my biggest batteries. However, I am looking to pick up a smaller charger to take away with me when travelling to shows. You know, once we can actually get outside and travel again. Which ones do you all recommend and use at home? Which one should I check out? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, back to the charging board though. Just like with the 2S version, my favourite feature is still the fact that each battery is connected and balanced through just one connector, making everything just so easy, not to mention that it seems to charge and balance the packs even faster and better than if I did them one by one. As with the 2S version, it's still important to let the charger finish the charge though, as due to the packs being able to connect in between and use different charge states, empty, half empty, or close to full, it's not until the charger beeps that they will all be fully ready to go. Unlike when we're charging packs individually, that we kind of know that when a 3S gets close to about 12.6 volts, we can disconnect it because it's close enough to fully charged. Anyway, that wraps up this episode of Cool Tech. If you liked either of these two products, make sure to check out the RC Light Systems website, rclightsystems.com, or contact Tom Wood on Facebook. That's right, go blow up his inbox and get your hands on your very own multi-charger board, servo tester, or even the great light system. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, I'm sure you all know what to do now. Hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. I'm Martin Pickering, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this one. Subscribing is always free and just means that YouTube shows you my latest videos once uploaded and you won't miss out. So hit that subscribe button now. While at it, why not check out my super cool new lineup of t-shirt designs like this one, all available in my online merch store with worldwide shipping. With several designs and colours to choose between, I'm sure that you'll love at least one of them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.